Hey y'all, it's Nancy the Handy Scandy. Welcome back for another crafty venture. And welcome to my episode 24 of Saturday Morning Makes. Hey y'all, welcome to Saturday Morning Makes. And again, I'm late. I do apologize. Yesterday was full of making. It truly was. And I just allowed myself to play. I had company. I was enjoying the company of a very sweet, precious friend, and we just played and we talked, and I didn't worry about a thing. But I wanted to start out by sharing some things that I did previously. So this I made, it's a garland, as you can see. I'm not going to pull it out because you won't be able to see it, but I made it for Whimsy last week, and just really wanted to share it here. Now, I made it with these products. This is the Shaker Maker Banner die set. This is the Pierced and Stitched Circles die set. And this is Ice Cream, EYE. And it is one of my favorites. It's absolutely one of my favorites from Whimsy. Love it, love it, love it. Now, I don't often say I'm proud of things, but when you look at the coloring on these eyes, I did that. I can't believe I did that. I had to go back and look for inspiration from other design team members, but I did it. And I made the rosettes by hand, and I've shown that in the past. But yeah, I just wanted to share that here because I think a lot of times we get intimidated. We see other people's things and we don't feel as confident about our own. But you can look at your projects and say, I did that, and be proud of it. I'm proud of me. I'm proud of y'all. And I'm going to stop because I'm going to digress. But I did not tell you what Saturday Morning Makes is. So let me jump back to that, and then I will go into my next project. So Saturday Morning Makes is essentially like an art collaborative, I believe is what she's calling it. She is Jill Norwood of Greenwood Girl Cards, and she started this collaborative several years ago when everybody was on lockdown for COVID, and there was very little human interaction, especially for those who, weren't able to go to work or not of the essential job disciplines, whatever. But so many people were safe at home. I don't want to say stuck at home, safe at home. And there was, it was just really hard. It was a hard time. And she just thought it would be a great idea to start sharing art together, not necessarily the process, but the finished product or project. So that has continued on till today, and now it's bigger than she ever anticipated, and I'm thankful to be a part of it. So this was my first make. I might have to break this into two because I've done so much and I've loved it all, and not to be haughty, but I just really want to share it with y'all. So another thing that I thought was worth mentioning today is Whimsy Stamps is having a hop and giveaway. It is our Whimsy Stamps Autumn Hop. We do, or have been doing one a month. And this one for August is Autumn, and the featured die was this. It is the Slimline Fence die, and we could use it in any way that we chose. And I just had this idea to do wood planks and then have a wooden pumpkin. And so I did. And I had these little cards. I don't have them near me. No, I don't have the others near me. But they're just like little note cards, little 3x3 note cards that I got from Joann's. They're the Miss Sparkle brand. So they're this size, maybe not even 3x3. And I don't even have a ruler near me. Anyway, I just used them, and the pumpkin is a little bit bigger than the card itself, so it'll take a little bit of creativity to actually get it in the card. But I wanted to share these more for you to know that you can get on board with that hop if you're interested, because it's for a $100 giveaway. So the gift card is to Whimsy Stamps. So you want to get over there, and I'll try to remember to link everything downstairs. But from those pumpkins, I had some leftovers. And this was actually my first one, but it was just the pumpkin and the planks. There wasn't a whole lot more to it. But I added a stamp from Tim Holtz. It's, I don't have it out. It's a Halloween stamp, and it's a big, beautiful spider web, and I would not be saying it was beautiful if they were real. Trust me on that. And then this little spider is from Whimsy. I shared the spiders in the past. Here are a couple more. Don't they look so real? Oh my gosh, they're creepy as they can be. So the spiders are from this set. It's the Spiders and Webs dies, and then this is the Build a Pumpkin Patch die set. And I love those too, but I had these extras, and so I just thought I would bump this up a little bit more. That's the card. Now these are just plain pumpkins. I have layered them. I've doubled them up, and I'm not sure what I'll do with them. They may just be tags. I don't know. Maybe they'll go on a card. But I wanted to do something a little bit different with all of them. So I used this same, what is this called? Spiderweb stamp. And then I just did some ink blending. Now I stamped it with Versamark and embossed in clear. This one I used Vintage Photo Distress Embossing Glaze to emboss that. So just so it showed up a little bit more, but I wanted it to be very subtle on both, and I think that's what I got. But the spiders I used clear. Did I use clear? No, I used the Vintage Photo Embossing Glaze. That's why it's still transparent. But it's so, oh, the spiders are just so creepy. They creep me out. Whew. Now this one was done with an embossing folder from Whimsy Stamps, or no, from Stampin' Up. It's that quilted one. I don't know. Anyway, it's one of my favorites from them. And I put Versamark on it, and then I ran it through my die cut machine, and that got all of that good grungy Versamark stamping down in there. And I just used clear to emboss it, and then I went around the edges. I dipped it in the embossing powder, and then I heated it up. That's how I got this kind of grungy look along the edge. This one is embossed with a folder from Fun Stamper's Journey, who I believe is now part of Spellbinders. And it's some type of vintage. I have no vintage script. I have no idea what it says. No idea what it says. But I inked it up, and then I ran it through, and then that's how I get that kind of mottled look on the back. And then this is the same stamp from Hello Bluebird. I think it was called Petal Play. And I'm hoping that you can see that pattern. But I wanted it to be kind of grungy as well, and I feel like that's what I got. I mean, there's very, very little stamping down here. You can barely see the embossing there. And then, of course, right here it's a little bit darker, and then it kind of fades again. Again, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these, but I made them, and I think they're kind of fun. And then, of course, I have these leftover spiders that still creep me out. Like, he looks so real. Oh, oh, oh. Okay, that led me to Impression Obsession, because I have been wanting to play with this stamp set for a little while. This is the Monster Mash from Impression Obsession. The artist is Nola Chandler. Now, I've heard of Impression Obsession for years. I was on a design team for Colorful Life Designs with Miss Dina, and she is amazing. And I've been watching Anna White for a couple years, and she's amazing. And they both design for Impression Obsession. But as far as buying their products, I'm just getting on that bandwagon. There's so many things, and only so much time and so much money, you know. But I had to play with these this weekend, so I did. And I started out just by, I stamped the 3 guys out, and I colored them up. And then, well, let me move these off. So I made this little tag. This, all these tags, and even the card, there's this little background piece, was made from leftovers from the pumpkins. In fact, I still have a pile of them right here. Some wood planks and just some leftovers, and some of the cardstock that I did, the ink direct to the paper, and I never got them die cut. But yeah, this is how those planks started out on the pumpkins, and then this excess is what became the strips on these tags, and there's one card. But yeah, so I started with that, and then I brought in a stencil from Heffy Doodle. I don't have it in front of me. I thought that I had everything out, but clearly I don't. But I used just some modeling paste, and while it was still wet, I put the embossing glaze over it, and then I embossed it. And then I wanted him on there, but I didn't want to add a lot, but I still wanted my grungy my grungy feel. I've got the hot glue. And I decided I was going to use the moss. I feel like I might need to add a little bit more moss behind him. But isn't he adorable? And there's just enough grunge to make my heart happy. But he makes my heart happy. And I added just a little bit of Nouveau crystal glaze to the eyes and the teeth and the dots. And I think he's adorable. And then I made this one. I used a stamp from, I think it's MFT. It's a big background stamp. And this time I used some sisal behind him. And this has the stripes as well. And I stamped over all that. And then I just took the ink pad, I think it was Vintage Photo, and I just went around the edges. Now this, sorry, I think I may have been out of frame. I'm sorry if I was. This frame, or this twine, was actually this. It was the same color, and I just squished out some, was it old paper? I don't know, it was one of the distress inks, and I just smushed it around in there and essentially dyed it, and then I still have this little bit here. It's interesting that it all came unraveled. That doesn't bother me, but it's just interesting that it did once it got wet. But yeah, it's fun, and I love it. And again, I put a little bit of the crystal glaze just on his eyeballs. And I may go back and add more to them, but I think I'm done with them. I think I like them just the way they are. What do y'all think? Tell me your thoughts. Oh my gosh, like I can't stop looking at him. And then this guy, what do you see? Do you see anything specific in him, or is he just a monster right there? I feel like he's just a monster. But then we were doing a video chat with a friend in Arkansas, and when I showed her this one, she said she sees a toasted marshmallow, and now I can't unsee the toasted marshmallow. Isn't he adorable? Whether he's a marshmallow or not, I think he's absolutely adorable. Now, I colored him the way that I did because I wanted him to have this vintagey look, right? But yeah, I cannot unsee the marshmallow. And you notice how I have a little bit of orange on all of them? I thought that just brought in that autumnal orange. I thought that was fun. I used a little bit of raffia just to wrap around just for some more interest. And of course the stripes going at a diagonal on this one. Now I used an embossing folder. Gosh, I think it was from either Sam's, Michael's, or Joann's. Man, I haven't been to Sam's in years. Anyway, just ran that through, and I just love this kind of quatrefoil pattern. And then I used the Sprinkles Scallops rectangle dies just to die cut out the card, and then the little monster panel. But I think they're adorable. Absolutely adorable. And you know what? I'm not going to ask you to pick a favorite, because if you're like me, they're all sweet in their own way, and I love them. So now when we were on our video chat with our friend, I couldn't really get into actual card making, so I started another project. Let me move these out of the way. And I've been using these stickers. I believe I showed, I don't know when I showed them, but anyway, they're recollections. They're from Michael's. I have another pack from last year. I just can't find them yet since I've been moving craft rooms. But I used some of these, and then I have these vintage apothecary labels that I bought from Amazon. I don't know if I've shared these or not, and I'm not going to share a whole lot, but I just love that vintage vibe. Some of them are totally creepy. Finely minced toad flags, ink cap winkles. I mean, what? Deadly nightshade. They're just fun. So I use those, and what I want to do is I have a hutch that was my sister's, and I want to make it into like a cabinet of curiosities or an apothecary cabinet. And so with that, I also have a bunch of old jars, old candles, and I thought, wouldn't it be fun if I filled them with things and used them in there? So these are two old candle jars. They're still kind of funky. I still need to get the wax residue and the sticky residue off of them, but I was just playing to see if I even liked the idea, and I do. So I've got those two, and then I've got this one. What I want to do with this one is get like some, I might have to do them in paper, but my idea is to have like rubber bats. Remember the rubber bats? I don't know if they still sell them. I'm guessing that they would be at Dollar Tree. But, and then just cut the wings off and put, you know, fill this with bat wings. Wouldn't that be fun? Kind of funny too. Now this one, sorry, I'm turning around. This one is a work in progress. So you can see there's still lots of residue on this one. I need to get that cleaned off. And I love that sticker. And I can't read that tiny, tiny print. My friend Gina that was over here with me yesterday, hi Gina, if you're watching, hi sweetie. She read it for me. This says Sally Jacks, and I didn't realize it, but it's a play on Nightmare Before Christmas. And it says, The Nightmare Apothecary Company. I mean, there are so many clues. I don't know why I didn't get it. And then Wormswort. And if you'll remember, every time Sally wanted to leave, she gave the, I don't know what his name was. I don't know what his name was. Anyway, she always gave him Wormswort to knock him out so she could slip out. But anyway, what I want to do with this one is I like the jar as it is. I like the simplicity of the label, the red flowers playing on the red jar. But I think I just want some kind of like a pretty knob on top. So that I'll be looking for. So there's that one. And I have a bunch more that I'll be making as well. I have a vodka bottle that's kind of an odd shape that I want to use as well. Now this one I think is my favorite. This was a pumpkin spice candle that my sister got me for my birthday last year. And the sticker says, Wyvern Venom, Magic Dance, Potion Emporium, 25 years of magical expertise. Wyvern Venom. I don't know what a wyvern is. Do y'all know what a wyvern is? I never even thought to look. Distilled and ready to use, effective weapons grade poison, 18 ounces, humanely harvested. So there's nothing inside, and I likely won't put anything inside. But I have these little resin skulls, and there are some hands as well. I've got them put away right now, but they're from Recollections. They're from Michael's. There were 4 in a container, and I think they were like $5 maybe. Maybe not even that much. And this is just some Spanish moss. And to hold, because the head is flat on the back, and there's a little flat part on his chin, but it wasn't going to stand up. I used a bunch of hot glue, and then I put down the moss, and then I used more hot glue, and I put the skull down. And then on the back, I just have a bunch of this inexpensive craft stock, and I have it folded, not accordion folded, but anyway, just folded up real tight. And then I made like a stand to kind of prop him up, and I plastered hot glue on the paper to keep all the folds in place, and then I plastered it onto the lid, and then I plastered it onto his head. So I don't think this is going anywhere. And then I just covered the whole structure with moss, and you don't even know it's in there. What I still want to do with this and some others that have necks like this is I want to make like little charms hanging off of them. Think, if you will, Jack Sparrow's hair, right? And all the little danglies he has like on his belt and his the sleeves of his shirt and stuff, danglies like that. So that was a project that I did, or those were projects that I did while we were on our video chat. And then when we were done, I moved on to something completely different. I have these tags. They were from, apparently from a craft workshop that I did several years ago. I couldn't remember where they came from, but Gina remembered. I was a Stampin' Up demonstrator for a very short time. And I did a little party up at the clubhouse here where I live. And I had die cut these shapes from my Cricut, and after the fact I used this stencil to stencil on these. It's just some sparkle stickles, and they've been sitting in my stash for years. Now they're very not very flimsy. It's not strong cardstock. In fact, it's probably, this one is cardstock. These were probably just construction paper, to be honest, because when I first started I didn't have a clue. But anyway, I layered them up to clean up the back because there was like stickles all over the back from the stenciling, and it also gives them a little bit more structure. But this stamp set is from Not Too Shabby. I got it when I was on the design team several years ago, and I don't believe I've ever used it. This was the first time. And when you look at it, it's not a Christmas set. But what I know after doing this for years and years is that you can make anything be for the occasion that you want it to be, depending on how you color it. And so I wasn't setting out to prove anything, but that's exactly what I did, because I just colored them with Christmas colors, the traditional Christmas colors, and boom. Now it's a Christmas mouse and a Christmas bunny in cups of cocoa. And this I colored so that it would look like the Cool Whip or the marshmallow spilling over the edge, but that it was tinged with cocoa. Y'all let me know if that was successful or if it just looks dirty. But I added some stickles. Now this particular bottle of stickles does not say the name. Gina and I both looked. I don't know. I feel like it might be the unicorn one, but I don't know. But I added it to the bows. I added it to the handles and to some of the different features on them. And I think they're just cute. Now this is a die from Pink Fresh Studio. I think it's the, oh, it's the squares. I really thought I had everything out, y'all. I apologize. But anyway, there they are. They're super cute. And then this stencil is this one from A Colorful Life Designs. Let me see if I can find the name. This is the frame that goes with the stencil. It is called Square Doily. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show this effectively or not. And let me see. This is my vellum container, but it helps you to see a little bit better how that would work. So I've got the stencil and the mask, and it would allow you to do some different shading and things like that, but that's how it comes. There's another one that I have that comes like this, and it is the cloud stencil. So if you don't have A Colorful Life Designs cloud stencils, you really want to look at that. And if you're not familiar with the Colorful Life Designs, you really want to check them out. You could just spend time perusing what they have and you won't be disappointed, I guarantee you. But I'll put links to as many of these things as I can downstairs in the description box. But that was how I did this tag. Now again, you can see how flimsy this paper is. It's not construction paper. I think it's just really inexpensive cardstock. But I did not have another one of these to layer it up, but it's okay. I still need to finish them up. I don't know that I'm going to put any other kind of embellishment on them, but I do still want to put maybe to from on the back or some kind of sentiment. I'm not sure. And then I want to put the little ribbons and things at the top. And I think for these, I'm going to hang the ribbons out the handle. That's my thought. And then I have this little extra stick. This is by itself in the stamp set. And I think I want one. I might want a couple on that. What do you think? Y'all let me know what you think. Does it need the candy sticks? Does it not need the candy sticks? Does the mouse need a candy stick? This one came in the image. That candy stick came in the bunny image. But does this one need a candy stick? I feel like yes. So the good thing is I can stamp out as many more as I want to. One thing I want to point out, I don't know if she still has this stamp set in her shop or not, but one thing I want to point out is she has that extra little face. So you could put a face on the cups, you could put a face on, I don't know that it would fit on the tea bag, but you could put a face on the little macarons, and it says Merci, Tea Addict, to my best tea, you're a sweet tea, tea time. I just think it's super cute. So it was just intended to be, you know, cutie tea time guys, tea time buddies. But I think they turned out perfectly for Christmas. So y'all let me know what you think about the candy stick. Do I need to make several more and finish those off? And I have to say that I love how this stickles really coordinates well with the paste that I use. I feel like it was a stickles that I put through there, but this one obviously has a little bit more of a blue cast, and this has a little bit more of a kind of reddy pinky cast. But there they are. And I used this die set from Hello Bluebird. I don't know the name. There's no name. There's truly no name. I'll find it, and if I can, I'll link it downstairs. But I also made this cute little Halloween tag with it. Again, using those same strips of paper. It was made at the same time as these monster tags and the monster card. But I just used some splatter on the back. I have some extra lots of extra little die cuts sitting on my desk, but these are the holes from a million tags. And I just have them there, the little reinforcers, and I like to add them. So this one was a white one that I smushed in some carved pumpkin and vintage photo to get that kind of orangey brownie look. And that was just a brown one, and of course this one is a black one. But for this orange and black twine, I actually dipped it in some vintage photo and did the same thing that I did with this green, and I just wanted it a little bit darker. I wanted it to look a little more antique because it was a very bright orange. But I just think this die set is adorable with the 2 pumpkins and 2 leaves. But 2 leaves was really all I needed for this tiny little tag. But of course you could cut as many as you want. You can cut as many pumpkins as you want. And I took some of those stickles and I dotted their eyes, all of their eyes. The kitty's eyes has some green, some bright green paper on the back, but you can't really tell that once the stickles was there. And then the yellow for the pumpkin still shows through, and then the black for the ghosty. You really don't see the black. You kind of see more of just the blue cast. But that's my tag with this stamp set. And I think that's it for today. Maybe I do have it all in one video. Whoop, whoop. All right, my friends. So thank you for spending some time with me, for understanding that sometimes life takes precedent and we don't always get to things when we want to get to things. But ultimately, things get taken care of, don't they? I mean, I always get things done. They may not always be on time, and there's always something waiting to take its place. But I get them done, and I'm sure that's the same with you, because life is real for all of us, right? It doesn't stop because there's hardship. It doesn't stop because of anything. Life continues to go on, and we just have to muddle through and figure it out. So here we are. And in that figuring it out, we enjoy the little things. We find the things to be grateful for. We find those moments of joy and of respite and of peace, and the times when we can just let it all go. And for me, letting it go is spending time like this. And I just love it. And time with my sweet friends, which I never have enough of. I never have enough time with my family. So I honor those moments, and I just try to revel in them for as long as I can. But again, thank you guys so much. Thank you, Jill, for this brainchild that you birthed for Saturday Morning Makes. And yeah, until next time, y'all, this is Nancy, the Handy Scandy. Mwah! I'm out. Oh, guys, this one was super long. Thank you so much for sticking it out with me. I would love to do a giveaway, so if you are still here, go ahead and tell me down in the description box what brings you joy in times of trouble or sorrow or heartache or boredom or any kind of time that's contrary to joyful. Let me know how you find your joy during those times, because I know it's not easy, but I think it's important to not only point those out and be aware of them, but kind of plan for those contrary moments, because they come. So y'all leave me that comment downstairs. I will have this giveaway open for 1 week. So next week will be August 27th. I will announce a winner on August 27th. And yeah, thanks guys again. I love you. This is Nancy, the Handy Scandy, and I'm really out this time. Mwah.